Bum 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 bum. All right. This is usually my favorite time. Wait, where's the music? Okay, hold on. I got music here. Okay, hopefully everything is all good. I'm assuming audio and video is working fine. I'm sure someone will let me know in the comments. But all right, guys, welcome to the 28th live stream that I do bi-weekly, which is something that I absolutely love to do and don't plan on stopping anytime soon because this is so much fun. So if you missed the live stream portion and just watching the replay of this, the next stream is going to be July the 9th, which is a Saturday at 12 Eastern Standard Time. So every 2 weeks I plan on doing it. So that's going to be the plan moving forward. And so if anyone wants to check out the next one, that's when it will be. Hey, Swen. What's up, dude? Can you let me know if my mic volume and the music volume is good or not, Swen? I'm always fiddling around with the settings, but what's up, dude? How you been? How's the YouTube grind going? Maybe that's not too loud. Okay, so anyways, we'll give people a chance to come by. Hopefully we can get some interesting conversations going. Ask some good questions, which is the whole, well, for anyone who doesn't know, that's what the whole AMA thing stands for. It's basically ask me anything. And I remember I was trying to come up with a title for the stream because I didn't know what to really call it, so I just called it AMA, like a simple AMA. And I kind of like it. It's stuck because also I put, by counting how many streams I've done, this sort of is reinforced by the idea of the title of this stream of consistency and discipline, which I think is huge. It's so important, those two ideas, when they work in conjunction with one another. Just finding ways to be disciplined builds up your consistency, and then once you become more consistent at something, it's a lot easier to stay disciplined. So that's sort of like what this live stream is. It sort of started off as something I wanted to do for fun, and then I really enjoyed it. And so building that consistency of showing up every 2 weeks, builds that discipline, and then it just becomes super easy, right? So mic is very good, music is very quiet. Okay, music is quiet. Let me try. There, I bumped it up a little bit. I've been doing very good, but I will leave you now. I have to do my calisthenics workout. Hey, there you go, bro. Get those push-ups, dips, pull-ups, squats. Get all that stuff in. Have a good workout, dude. And keep grinding, man. Keep pushing. Keep growing the channel. I love it. I love everyone that's in the self improvement genre, I guess you would say, niche. Is this a great place to be in? And I know that my opinion on this is kind of biased, right? But just being in the self-improvement world and taking it seriously, not just as like a YouTube creator, but in terms of the application to my real life, right? Like building better habits, trying to become a happy, more positive person. It bleeds through all aspects of your life, whether that's at school, at work, with friendships, with parents, with family. Like just, working on yourself and trying to improve by a little bit every single day. It's like a great feeling. It's sort of like a great feeling to have. And it's kind of one that I'm trying to spread the message about. But at the same time, it's a little difficult because, there's a lot of people that don't like being told what to do, right? So I try to be very self-aware of the fact that there are a lot of these self-improvement ideas that I believe in and that have worked for me, but I have to remind myself that they won't work for everybody, right? Everybody's different. But hopefully, if there's someone that's interested, in starting a self-improvement journey of their own, which is what I usually say, hopefully this stream or any of my other videos or content can help you out. Hey, Batiste. How you doing, bro? Good to see you. Desk is all messed up here. Still working on the layout. As you can see, this my wall of paintings. It's still looking pretty bare. But what's going on, Batiste? How you doing, bro? How's the bench press progress coming? I haven't hit a bench in like since COVID. I have like a flat bench and an incline bench, but I don't have a barbell. I have dumbbells, so I can do presses. But something about the barbell bench press is I don't know. It's just so much fun. It makes working out enjoyable. That's definitely a secret to staying disciplined and consistent for exercise and working out. It is doing something that you actually enjoy doing that really helps. Like, I know a lot of people don't like lifting weights, right? It's not fun, right? To do lunges or to do shoulder raises or, you know, even bench press. Like, these aren't exercises that are fun for a lot of people. But if you can find some physical activities that you do enjoy, it makes working out so much easier. The barrier for entry is so much lower because you're doing something that you love rather than doing something you hate. And so things like bench press, deadlift, squat, barbell squat, pull-ups, these are all exercises that I just love, you know, that I love to do. They're fun for me. Whereas other things like, what's a good example? Cardio, or the treadmill, or the stairs, or the elliptical. Like, those are the form of exercises that I thoroughly dislike. For whatever reason, I get no enjoyment out of just walking on a treadmill. Like, it is good because you can listen to like audiobooks or you can listen to a podcast or something. But for myself personally, just, I don't know what it is. It just feels so boring to me. Like, I like the struggle of lifting weights. Like, I love the challenge is something that I like really love. It's like the really like short bursts of difficulty where, you know, you put in your set for however amount of reps, then you rest. I don't know, just something about that is what I love. Finally at 200 pounds, and I also started doing cardio with an altitude simulator mask. Oh my gosh. Wow. Dude, that's pretty cool. An altitude simulator mask. Is that one of those things you wear that covers your nose and your mouth and it limits the amount of oxygen you get so it simulates high altitudes? Like, is that how it works? Like, I've never used one of those things, but in my mind I always assumed like high altitudes usually means there's less oxygen, right? So those masks, wouldn't they simulate the intake of oxygen that you would have? I'd imagine that's super difficult. It sounds like you're training for something serious, bro. But dang, 200-pound bench press, that's good. I think my highest is 190 with good form. And then I hit 195 for one rep with bad form, where like my butt lifted off the bench. And I probably didn't maintain proper scapular retraction, and I don't know. So I have done 195 for one, but I feel like my true max is like 190. But again, that was last year, so I've probably lost a lot of those gains. I love running in the forest or in the streets during night, but I hate the treadmill. Yeah, see what I mean? Like, I don't mind hiking or walking or jogging down a trail or going through a forest or like a mountain or a path or something like that's interesting for me. But just the sedentary position where you're not sedentary. What's the word? What's a word when you're not moving? You're moving, but you're not going anywhere. Like you're stuck in this one position, even though you are physically running. it's like you don't see anything new around you. Your environment doesn't change. Everything is static. And it's just so boring because you're inside some concrete gym, right? I don't know. I've always felt that way too about cardio. Like when I go to the gym, the last thing I want to do is to just walk on a treadmill for half an hour. Like I'd rather just go for a walk to the park, right? Like take my dog for a walk, or take my daughter and wife and go walk to the swings or the slide or something like that, or maybe go for a hike with my parents. Like that, for me, that type of cardio is enjoyable. But something about the treadmill, man, I don't know. I just don't like it. It's not me. It's definitely not for me. But I do believe that cardio for sure is important, though. Don't get me wrong. Like cardio, 100% important. Your cardiovascular system, your ability to recover and have endurance, like being in good cardiovascular health is very practical, right, in the real world. Like when you think about like bench press, for example, like when in your life are you ever going to be stuck in a situation where you're horizontal pressing weight against gravity from your chest? Like maybe if you're at home and a bookshelf falls on you, like I can't envision a scenario where like the bench press would be beneficial. Like I know the bench press can improve like your chest and your pressing strength, but the actual position where you're on your back pressing a weight up from your chest, like it's not practical, right? Whereas cardio, for example, you want to maybe go for a walk with your grandkids when you're older, or when your children want to play sports, or maybe you have a niece or a nephew that wants to play soccer and then you want to like keep up with them. So like in those real life scenarios, having a very good cardiovascular health makes a ton of sense, and is a lot more practical than something like a bench press, right? But where the bench press, the benefits come from is the strength of like your triceps and your chest, like the ability to push, right? So there is strength benefits to that for sure, but in terms of the actual movement, very unpractical in the real world. Currently, I'm kind of obsessed with the idea of getting stronger. And also in September, I'm going to do a boxing fight with one friend at my school. 3 rounds of 3 minutes. Oh my gosh, wow. Dang, dude. Yeah, the idea of getting stronger, that progression, I love that too. And I know people don't really know this, but every week, just adding that 2.5 pound plate to the bar, like that very small plate. I think it's like maybe like this big, and it's like 2.5 pounds. It's like this tiny little thing. You just pick it up with your fingers. But just adding that to the bar on each side every single week is hard, man. It's so difficult because 2.5 on each side is 5 pounds, right? So you if you go, say you bench 200, and the next week 205, and then 210, and then 215, like those tiny little plates, they add up to a tremendous amount of weight, and it's not easy. It's very difficult. But that progression, I see why you're obsessed with it, because I was obsessed with it too. I loved the numbers. I loved adding numbers to the bar. It was very rewarding. You get this like sense of satisfaction where you've been aiming for that 200-pound bench press and you've been stuck on 185. You're just like grinding it out, and then one week you break through and you get to 190, and then you get that little burst of motivation and momentum. Then okay, you want to try 195, and then you fail, and then you struggle. Then a month goes by, and then you feel like giving up, but then you try and you try and you try, and then you get 195, and then all of a sudden you have this belief that maybe I can do 200, and that continual progression in terms of the numbers and getting stronger. It's that in and of itself for me was so rewarding. And I always felt like the physical benefits, I know that a lot of people like to work out to build a better body, Like for me, it was always health first, and the reward system that I would get from the progression of the numbers. Like those are my two main benefits. And then building a better, stronger body. For someone of my age, I guess it's not that important. But when you're like 18 or maybe you're in your early 20s, like you want to look good, right? So it makes a lot of sense. But for myself, looking better was just a byproduct of fitness. That's what it was for me. I've never been super obsessed with the whole appearance thing. And as I'm sure a lot of you guys can tell, especially with like the clothes that I wear, I don't know. I just could care less about what other people think of me, right? If they think it's weird that I just wear plain gray shirts all the time, that's fine. If they think I'm too skinny or not muscular enough or don't have, I don't know, whatever. Like whatever critique people have of your appearance, that we care about when we're younger. When you get a lot older, those things, they don't even matter anymore. Those opinions, they just kind of go right over my head. It's also this idea of getting stronger for the younger me who was afraid or lazy to do sports. Yeah, that window of looking back at your past self is very inspirational too. Like I remember when I started lifting, I couldn't do 25-pound plates. So the bar is 45, 225 is 50. So we're talking 95 pounds. Like I tried to bench press 95 pounds the first time I went to the gym, and I failed. Like it got stuck. The bar got stuck on my chest, and my friends had to help me out, right? And they laughed at me. They're like, "Oh my gosh, dude, you're so weak," right? And so, looking back at that person in, when was that? 2015? Probably somewhere around 2015, maybe 2014. That couldn't bench 95 pounds. Looking back at that, where I used to be and then where I am now, it's awesome. It's a great feeling, which is just like all the other self-improvement stuff that we talk about on the channel. It doesn't just have to be physical, like mental too, right? So by the way, after a kiwi every day, oh, I love it. Kiwi every day, bro. And the gratitude journal. The last idea I took from you is the everyday sober uniform. Like the life uniform, you're getting into that, Batiste? The minimalist wardrobe? The everyday sober uniform. That's an interesting way to put it. Yeah, the kiwi thing is definitely strange. It's a strange concept. But to give you like the short story, I was always addicted to sugar, right? And the idea of just cutting out sugar entirely, it was always difficult because you'd always end up binge eating, right? If you wanted to cut out chocolate or candy or ice cream, then you do pretty good for maybe a couple days or a week, and then you have a night where, I don't know, something goes wrong, and then you binge and eat an entire tub of ice cream. And so I feel like a lot of people, they struggle with sugar addiction. And I'm definitely one of those people. I can eat a bag of gummy bears and like in one sitting, I can crush the whole thing. But the kiwi thing worked for me because when I tried experimenting with a kiwi a day, I was using it for the health benefits, like the nutrients, the vitamin C. Like the kiwi fruit has an amazing vitamin, mineral, nutrient profile for such like a tiny fruit. Like it's, my opinion, one of the best things that you should eat. And so while doing that, I inadvertently stumbled upon this idea that kiwis are so sweet. Like if you have a really nice kiwi fruit that's not too ripe, but it isn't too hard, like they're incredibly sweet. So I found that they would satisfy my sugar cravings a lot of the time. And so say late at night, you're craving some chocolate or candy or whatever, I would just go and pop 2 kiwi fruits, eat 2 quick kiwis and like give it a minute or two and see how I feel. And then a lot of the time those cravings I had for sugar, they would subside and they would sort of just go away. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So that was why I've been promoting the kiwi fruit. And it's sort of like one of my most popular ideas on my channel, so it's something I keep going back to. But yeah, the gratitude journal is pretty self-explanatory, right? I think that one's pretty obvious, just being grateful, writing things down. I'm sure everyone understands the benefits behind that. But the life uniform one is tough because people are so obsessed with how they look and looking cool and looking fashionable that the life uniform idea is it's very difficult to get people to adopt into their everyday routine. So when I do hear about, someone starting it, it gets me excited because you probably feel the same way that I feel now about clothes. Yes, because I like unicolor t-shirts. Unicolor? They are hard to find in France. Oh, unicolor, like one singular color shirt. They are hard to find in France. There's always something weird written on it, like California 1978 Motorcycle Club. Oh no! Oh my god, dude, that sentence right there, that is so funny. They're so hard to find in France. California 1978 Motorcycle Club. Oh god, I know exactly what you mean. Like those designs, right? That people have on their shirts. Oh man, that's funny, bro. That's funny. He gave me a good laugh, dude. That's surprising though. It's hard to find unicolor t-shirts, huh? What about... I know this is not something that I would do. What about like those cheap department stores like Walmart? I'm assuming there's a Walmart in France, or is there like a French equivalent to Walmart where you can just buy like super plain cheap shirts? The only problem though is the quality that you get from a place like Walmart really sucks. And then when you put your shirts, well, at least this is what I've noticed, is when I put my cheap shirts, like those cheap $10 shirts you get from like Walmart, when they go through the wash a couple times, they just get destroyed. It's like the fabric is made out of tissue paper or something. It's just terrible. It's just awful. So when I went to Japan, that was the first time I discovered Uniqlo, like the Japanese clothing store. And it's probably because I'm biased, right? Because I am part Japanese. So I have this like affinity. I feel this affinity towards Japanese materials or Japanese manufactured goods, or just Japanese things in general. I have like a personal bias towards. But for whatever reason, when I went to Uniqlo, all their shirts they fit well. Like they fit my body well. They weren't too loose, they weren't too tight, and then like even like this simple gray shirt, like it's gone through the wash many times, and then it's still like it looks fine. Like there's no holes, like there's no rips. Like it's not falling apart where the stitching is by the arms. Like like there's like the stitching all around. Like it's still intact. Like it's solid. But instead of spending $10 at Uniqlo, you'd have to spend like 15, right? So spend an extra $5. And so I figured, okay, let's just spend the extra 5 to get a shirt that's a little bit higher quality, and made well, and so that it would last, right? And I feel like that's an easy investment because it's only $15, right, compared to 10. And so that's when my obsession with life uniforms kind of came into existence, because I finally found like a shirt that was 1, affordable, 2, simple looking, and 3, was good enough quality that it could survive the washing machine. Which sounds like an absurd thing to say. Like if you buy clothes, it should be able to make it through a wash and the dryer. Like, isn't that just common sense? But I feel like nowadays the quality of items are just so poorly made because there's like this obsession now with commerce of like making a lot of cheap stuff that will eventually break, so you have to go and buy more. Whereas in like our parents' generation, like in the 70s or whatever, 80s, a lot of the items you would buy then are just like really well made and they would last you for years. Like I remember we had a fridge, like from my childhood. It lasted forever. It definitely wasn't energy efficient, right? It just like burned through electricity. But that fridge was like, it was like a steel fortress. Like it would never stop running. It would never break down. It was like super heavy. It was like dense as hell. Like it was just made like a little prison almost. It was just like made so well. I don't know if it was like the materials that they used for it, but you don't find that level of quality in items anymore, especially not in clothing. Yeah, this is what I did in France. These hypermarkets named, how do you say that? Auchan? And they have their own brand of clothing named In Extenso. And they are really decent for hypermarket t-shirts. Auchan. I don't know how to say that. Yeah, I'm sure there's the other thing too, even if you find something like with a design, I feel like that's fine too. It doesn't have to be plain. Like you could find a couple of shirts you like that are name brand. Maybe it's just like a simple, I don't know, Nike shirt or like Adidas that has like the little logo. You can maybe just buy a whole bunch of those, because the main idea here is not to just buy simple plain clothes, right? The idea is you want to have a wardrobe system set up where you wake up in the morning, you go to your closet, and then you just bam, like that. You just grab a shirt and you go. There's no deliberation. There's no thinking. You automatically know exactly what you're going to wear before you wear it, and you just grab it without even thinking. That is what is so beneficial about things like a life uniform, because it automates your life and your time. And so that could be, maybe you buy 20 Nike shirts of all different colors or something. You just grab one and you go. It could be that, or it could be a name brand shirt, or not, or maybe even the Walmart route works for you. It's just this idea of like every morning, going back and forth, and should I wear this and should I wear that, and this shirt doesn't match this pants, and what about this belt, and I don't have black shoes, and I don't have gray socks, and it's like, that struggle of figuring out what to wear is so mentally draining, because that used to be me, right? That used to be me when I was in my 20s. I always wanted to make sure my pants would match my shirt, and then I have to have like a hat that would go with it too, and it was always like this. There was so much attention and time spent on something that, in all honesty, it doesn't matter, right? We're talking about things that are in the grand scheme of your life, it's so insignificant. Because if you have good friends, they want to spend time with you because they like you. And that's how the relationship should work. That's how friendships should work. It shouldn't be, oh, I want to hang out with this person because he wears clothes from Guess that are really expensive. Or this guy has all Adidas and that's my favorite brand, so that's why we're going to hang out. Like, our appearance to our friends and family, it's so overblown and so just not important. Like when I hang out with my friends, right, or my brother or my cousins, the last thing I think about is like their clothes. I don't care what they're wearing. Like, I'm happy to see them. I want to talk to them. I want to, like ask them what's going on. How's life? Like, what are you doing? How's the world? How's the family? I don't want to know about their shirt. I don't care about their socks or their Yeezys. I just don't care, right? I'm interested in the person, not what is on the person. And so this idea of spending so much time, effort, energy, and money worrying about our appearance through clothing, it's such a huge waste, in my opinion. I also bought some t-shirts from H&M. I don't know if you... Yeah, we have H&M. I bought shirts from H&M too, but I found that they were better quality than Walmart, but not as good quality as Uniqlo. So they were sort of like in the middle. So yeah, H&M definitely works. I'd buy from H&M for sure over something like Walmart. But I also noticed here the H&M pricing was similar to that of Uniqlo. Like they're very similar. So I figured I might as well just go with Uniqlo. But yeah, H&M works out pretty good too. Man, I haven't been to an H&M in a long time because I don't go to malls anymore. I used to love going to the mall, but now that's old history. I haven't even been to there's actually a giant mall near my new house that I moved to, but it's just so busy, and I hate shopping so much where I'm just like, no, I don't even want to go. But yeah, a store like H&M definitely works. H&M, Uniqlo. Another store that actually works really well is something like Marshalls or Winners, where they have like name brand designer clothes, but they're like at a discounted price. The only problem there though is like you have this fruit salad bowl of clothing everywhere, where you have no idea where anything is or what's there. And so it's like you can't get 10 of the same shirt, for example. But you can get a lot of decently priced stuff. So that was another store that I went to. But eventually I just fell in love with the simple plain that I didn't even bother going to Walmart, Winners or Marshalls. But yeah, that's another option too. It's actually summer sales in France. Oh, you got the deals? You got the sales going on? Yeah, I'm not, as you can tell, like, I don't know anything about clothes and shopping for clothes. I'm just like, I'm so far removed from the whole fashion world or what's trendy, or I think it all fell apart for me when everyone was getting into ripped jeans. You remember that when everyone had to like buy a pair of ripped jeans? And I was just like, why, man? And I felt so old. It's probably where like my age started to show, where I was just like, man, why are you spending like so much money for just a pair of ripped jeans just to like fit in with everyone else? Because that's something that that I never really think about anymore, is trying to fit in with everybody else. But it's funny though how trends come and go. All right, so let's talk about some other random ideas. Let's switch it up for a second and talk about some other random ideas that I wanted to work out from the stream. Let's give me a sec. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but recently I've been kind of making all these like YouTube shorts from these small snippets of information from the live streams and podcasts and all this stuff. And what I really enjoyed about the live stream was something that I feared in the beginning. Now, originally when I started streaming, I had this fear that nobody would show up, and that I would go live and I would start broadcasting and there'd be 0 people here and I'd have nobody to talk to. And this was something that I was like really scared of for a long time. You know, it was something that I never, because no one ever wants to stream in a live setting if no one's gonna watch, right? And what's the point? You're streaming to nobody. You're just streaming to yourself, and no one in the world cares. And so I've had this thought for a super long time that always held me back. And it was, you know, being scared of streaming to no people. But I sort of forced myself during those first couple streams that we did, and just forced myself to get out there, hit the record button, hit the go live button, and then just figure it out and have no expectations. And this is where I noticed something very interesting, where I'd have these gaps in the stream. You know, like some people would show up, like right now, Batiste, having like this nice back and forth. But then there'd be other times, maybe in the middle of the stream or right at the beginning or at the end, where there's kind of, you know, people come and go and they fall off. And I have this moment where I'm alone with my thoughts in a live setting where I don't know who's watching me. And I found this time to be super beneficial for me, because it's sort of like it's a forced version of my journal, that instead of me writing down my thoughts, I have to speak them out into the world on camera. And because of this, because of the live streams, I've had a tremendous amount of ideas just come into existence out of nowhere. Like I don't know where they come from, right? These creative ideas and thoughts. And I was like, man, it's so beneficial for me, because it's not just me writing down my thoughts in a book or writing down my thoughts in a journal. And so like today I was thinking like, man, we're on stream number 28. This is AMA 28. And I was thinking like, what got me through 27 live streams on average that are 2 hours, right? So we're talking about 54 hours of just, you know, being live on the internet, just streaming. You know, like what does it take for a person to go through 27 streams? And I was thinking like, you know what got me here? It's just consistency and it's discipline. That's all it is. And at the end of the day, no matter what you do in life, no matter what you want to achieve or what goal you set, like 99% of the success that gets you to the top of that mountain or peak or goal is just showing up every single day. It's just staying consistent. Maybe it's not every day. Maybe it's like this, a stream every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, just got to show up. Got to show up for 2 hours every 2 weeks. And then just by being consistent, just by forcing yourself to do things, you inadvertently build discipline. And it's very interesting, because now all my fears and anxieties are kind of gone. Like they're gone. You know, if there's no one here in the stream and it's just me and me alone and my thoughts, I'm okay with that, right? Because now there's a benefit to where I can work on myself. You know, I can think things through. I can speak them into existence and really deep dive into certain topics that I might not have thought of if it was just, you know, by myself in a room writing it in a book. It's a completely different experience. And so I title this stream Consistency and Discipline, because hopefully, you know, whoever's watching the stream or watches the videos, or maybe this will be a clip in the future, you know, just figuring out what you want to do and just keep showing up every day. And it's amazing how far that will get you, just being consistent. And the other day I was looking at my YouTube channel, and we started in June of 2019. Like June 2019 was the month I finally started posting consistently, like one video a week. And it's been like at least one video a week for 3 years now. It's been 3 years. We did 2019, 2020, 2021, and then the beginning of 2022. So it's been a full 3 years of being consistent on YouTube and not falling victim to the victim mentality where, oh, I should have got more views, or oh, I should have had more subscribers by now, or oh, I should have made more money. And there's all these like negative thoughts you have that will hold you back from doing something you want to do and doing something that you love. But again, it's just staying consistent and building discipline, and then just keep doing it over and over and over and over. And if you can find a way to show up every day without any outcome expectations, where you expect to get a certain amount of money, or you expect to get a certain amount of friends or success or a job title or into some type of school, like if there's no expectations and you can just keep showing up and just focus all your energy and time on the consistency and the discipline, it almost gets to a point where, again, like the life uniform, it becomes automatic. Right now it's just part of your identity. Like streaming is now, it's just part of someone, part of something that I just do. It's just part of me. It's just who I am now. Streaming is just a natural thing I do. The podcast is a natural thing I do. And so, again, I know I'm going off like on a wild tangent, like rant here. But it's almost so obvious. A lot of the answers to life, they just stare at you in the face. Like I remember high school, if you just show up to every class, like if you just go to high school every single day, don't miss any days, and you just show up to class, even if you don't do the homework and you just like half-ass it for the entire year, you will more than likely pass, right? As long as you pay somewhat attention to the teacher during the lessons, right? Like just showing up is just like everything. But people are so focused on perfectionism or doing what's optimal, or working smarter rather than harder, or what's a secret, what's a trick, what's a hack, what's a shortcut, when it's just showing up every day, just staying consistent that's everything, man. So sometimes when I want to develop an idea I speak alone, like if someone was listening. It helps me make it understandable. That's interesting. So if you have an idea, you sort of speak it to yourself as if someone was listening. You know what? That's pretty similar here too, right? Like I'm alone in this room. And if you don't talk in the chat, Batiste, I have no idea that you're there because YouTube doesn't tell me, right? It just says like, oh, you have 13 views or whatever, 4 current viewers. See, I don't even know anything. I gotta get better at streaming, man. Like hopefully, I'm gonna change this song. Hopefully, I have all the best settings. I've been practicing with the schedule stream, so that I wanted it to send out that notification, like, oh, I'm gonna be live in 30 minutes, and so I did that today. I finally figured that out properly, and I was able to roughly start on time. But yeah, just being alone with your thoughts and like sort of speaking them out into existence, it really gets like the gears turning in your mind. If you know what I'm saying. It's always better to like get them out. Like get your thoughts out on a piece of paper. Get your thoughts out into your phone with a voice recorder like Siri. Or just like getting them out there onto something tangible. It just helps you go through all of your ideas. It's definitely beneficial. AJDG, how long did it take for that hair to grow? Oh man, you don't want to know, bro. It's like past my shoulders now. It's It's like down here somewhere. When's the last time I got a proper haircut? It's been years. Took a couple years. Yeah, for anyone that wants to grow their hair, man, that first year is awful. That in-between phase where your hair is like not short, but it's not quite long. And it's like this like ugly, like floppy stage. Oh man. Getting through that first year is the toughest part. If you want to grow your hair. But yeah, a couple years for me. A couple years. Also, you save money on haircuts, dude. Oh my god. The amount of money you save from like not having to go to the barber, you know, pay for a haircut, get a tip, maybe you get it washed or shampooed every once in a while. I'm like, man, it's a lot of money. I wonder how much like a haircut costs now with inflation. Man. Okay, let me change the playlist here. Let's play something peaceful. Yeah, that's good. Got some good vibes going. That's another thing that's huge. Music. Man, music always helps me work, helps me think. Let's see, is that loud enough? Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite things to do when it comes to like video editing is just like finding really nice music and just like, you know, thinking about what's on my mind or what I want to accomplish. Something about it, I don't know, it's helpful for me. I've been really getting into like classical piano lately, which is something that, man, I know how to play the piano, but I haven't done in like over a decade. It's something that I'm eventually going to do. I want to buy one of those, I think, synthesize. I can't say the word. Synthesizers? Is that the word? It's like a form of digital piano. I'm sure I butchered that or got that completely wrong, but I want to get back into playing music. I hopefully want to have like a piano here somewhere on my desk by my keyboard. Where are you from and which state do you think is the most beneficial for earning money? Play some mental? State? No state. I'm from Canada. So I guess we have provinces, so we'll go with Ontario. Basically right out of Toronto. Close to Buffalo, I guess you would say. Is the closest state to me. No, Buffalo's not a state. New York. Or is Michigan closer? What's the closest state to me? No, it has to be New York. Because Detroit, Michigan is 4 hours. And Niagara Falls, New York is like 2 hours. Yeah, so closest to New York. Which state is most beneficial for earning money? And if I was American, I'd guess Texas. No, Florida? Isn't there states that don't have state tax? Isn't that a thing? I always hear that in basketball. Like NBA players, they play in Florida and Texas because they don't have state income tax. I find that very strange. I don't know how that works. Do you play any instruments? Currently, no. But my whole life growing up, I played the piano. I played classical music. I did examinations. I did the whole thing, the Royal Conservatory, progression towards... I wanted to become like a teacher, I guess, like to teach music. And I can't remember how many levels of examinations you had to pass, but there was like a certain level. And I got to the second last one. So I didn't have one more, I had 2 more levels. And it was taking me like 2 to 3 years to finish those last levels. They were so difficult. And that was like around the time where I started university. And so trying to go to university and commute while progressing through the Royal Conservatory of Music to become like a teacher it's just not doable. So USA or Canada? Where I live? Canada. Or do you mean like which is the most country beneficial for earning money? If that's what you mean, definitely the US. Bro, Canada is, like, especially for what I'm doing, like, Canada is awful for YouTubers, dude. Brand deals and sponsorships and Canadian companies are awful, man. They're awful. They have no money compared to the US. What did you major in? It was computer science, but I didn't finish. I dropped out in second year. I wanted to do computer engineering, but I wasn't smart enough. Like, my grades weren't high enough. I think you needed 90s and I had like 80s. And so I did computer science and then realized that it wasn't for me. It was not for me. In hindsight, it's interesting because a lot of my friends that I know who finished university with computer science or computer engineering, they end up getting good jobs, right? Like high paying jobs in tech or IT or programming or website design or whatever, right? But in hindsight, I always think, would I be happy? And the answer is no. Like, I wouldn't sacrifice what I'm doing now for a better paying career that I don't love. Like, even though the work I do now, it doesn't make much money. Like, I'm not, I guess, financially successful, I guess you would say, but like, I love what I do. Like, the passion is there, the happiness is there. You know, and I think that's, you know, that's invaluable, right? There's nothing better than that. There's nothing better in this world than doing something you love. And so I don't think I would trade my passion for more money. So after dropping out, what do you think? Was it a good choice? It's tough. The problem with dropping out of school is you go down this spiral in life where you have no idea what to do. You think you're a loser. Your family and your parents probably think you're a failure. You have no education. You have no profession. You have no degree. You have no area of expertise in your life. So you have no idea what to do. And so what happened to me was I bounced around all over the place. You know, I was doing warehouse jobs. It was labor-intensive jobs. I was doing accounting jobs, data entry jobs, computer jobs, Canada custom jobs. Like, I was doing all different types of things, right? Because there was no clear direction. That's what's good about school, is when you finish school and you get a degree, you have like a profession, or technically you should have a profession that you can always go into because you have the prerequisites for education, right? But the good thing about dropping out is that you don't get stuck in that one profession and you can go and experiment, right? If I stayed in computer science, I never would have had the time to go out and try videography or try YouTube or try podcasting or try live streaming. I wouldn't be able to try any of this stuff, right? Because all my time would be stuck in some 9-to-5 day job, right? It'd be very difficult to do these things. And I'd probably have no incentive. Like, if I had a day job that was paying well, there would be no struggle for me that would force me to try to get outside my comfort zone and do something. And that's what dropping out of school did. Because I had no clear goal or clear job or profession or company to work for, I had no idea what to do. So I was forced to go outside of that comfort zone and try new things. So pros and cons, right? Why hasn't your channel taken off yet? Oh, I like that question. I mean this respectfully and as someone who has less willpower, LOL. Exactly, one of the best channels I've come across. Just love the content, bro. Hey, thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. That's a good question. Like, I know there's this quote I hear a lot that comparison is the thief of joy, and that you should never compare yourself to other people. And it's tough because on YouTube you see people that blow up in 6 months or a year or 2 years, right? And they've put in, I don't know, maybe 50 videos. 60 videos, and then all of a sudden, like, their channel takes off. And then there's what am I, all this like opera music playing? And then for myself, it's tough, right? Because again, I've been posting consistently for 3 years now, for 3 years from 2019. And so it's very discouraging for someone to put in 3 years amount of work and to barely get any reward from it financially or numbers or subscribers. Like, look at my channel. Like, what do I have? 2,000 subscribers? Like, if people saw my channel and they're like, you put in that much time, energy, effort, 3 years of your life making videos and making content, and you only have 2,000 subscribers, they're probably going to laugh at me. They're probably going to think I'm stupid. They're probably going to think I'm wasting my time, right? Because I haven't reached a certain level of monetary success, or haven't reached a certain number of views that determines if I'm successful or not. But what people don't understand is that what I'm doing, it comes from passion. And I say this with a huge smile on my face because this is what I love to do, right? Like, it's Saturday afternoon right now. I could be playing Call of Duty with my friends. I could go outside, play basketball, maybe go shopping somewhere. But you know what I love to do every second Saturday is just stream to 5 people, right? And talk about ideas and think through my thoughts. Because this is something I love. It's fun for me. It's like my passion. And so because of that, I don't play the YouTube game well. Like, for example, I'm very poor, in my opinion, at making thumbnails and clickbait titles, I think. Because this is what YouTube cares about, right? They want click-through rate and they want retention. This is what YouTube wants. They want people to click your thumbnails and they want them to stay around and watch. And the problem is you have to play this clickbaity game. You have to put out these thumbnails that are very intriguing or show emotion or that are captivating to get people to click. But the problem with me, it's like, it feels disingenuous to me to make some bullshit title or clickbait thumbnail if I don't deliver in on the promise. And this is where I can be a better content creator. I should be able to figure out a way where I can streamline my passion for my work and my content and make my thumbnails more clickable or make my titles better, right? I'm sure there's effort from my part that I could put into the channel to try to increase its success in terms of numbers and subscribers. So in one sense, it is my fault that I haven't grown. However, I'm actually okay with that. I think when my channel is ready or when I deserve it, then it will grow. And so maybe that could be 4 years for me. Maybe it could be 5, right? Maybe it takes me 500 videos, to get to that level of success. It might take people only 50. But this is the key, though. This is what's so important about consistency and discipline. If you can just keep showing up, and do what you love, it's going to be very easy to get to the 4-year mark, to get to the 5-year mark, because it's something I love to do, right? So it's tough. It's tough, right? Because I'd be lying to you if I said I don't care about the numbers. Like, every day I do. Every day I log in my phone, I look at how many subscribers I have. Right? I'm sure everyone does that. I look at my AdSense, I say, I see I made $2 today, right? So, but I try really, really hard to make sure that, like, my priority is my passion, what I love, and, keeping it fun, and then slowly working on the algorithm type of stuff later. So, we'll see, dude. We'll see. Okay, slightly different question. If you were to play the YouTube game and actively try to be more successful content creator, what would that look like for you and how would you do it? So there'll be 2 things there. So the first is make more videos that critique things or disagree with things or that are like more negative. Like, for example, some of my videos where you disagree with someone, or you critique someone, or you say why they're wrong, like for whatever reason, those get a tremendous amount of clicks. Like for example, I had a video on my channel where I talked about Hamza and that guy Sneeko, and I sort of stated my opinion about why I thought Sneeko was wrong about Hamza, right? So it was like this very clickbaity title. Like, oh, there's a disagreement. There's going to be animosity there. Like that type of shit people love. They eat that up because it's like, it's controversial. There's drama, right? But I don't make those videos normally because I don't like that type of like negative stuff. That's not who I am. The problem is like, I try to promote self-improvement as best I can. You know, like when I see people trying to improve their lives, they want to exercise, they want to eat healthier, you know, maybe they want to get into stretching. And then someone that has like a massive following, you know, is making fun of someone who is trying to help people's lives. You know, that's when I have a problem with that. So that's why I kind of like, I guess, attacked. I didn't really attack, but it was like I made a controversial video stating my opinion, right? So if I did more stuff like that, it would drive way more views, right? And the other thing is sort of picking like trendy topics, right? Like trendy things. So for example, in the self-improvement world, minimalism and NoFap are like huge. They're like huge traffic generators. But the problem is, I'd be lying to you if I started saying, oh, I'm a minimalist and I do all this minimalistic type of stuff, right? Because that's not who I am. Like, look, I just bought like this freaking big house for my family. I have all this stuff. I have all kinds of stuff and cameras and gear, right? And also like the NoFap thing. It's like I'm a father. My wife is currently pregnant, so we're trying to build our family, and you can't do NoFap hard mode and build a family at the same time. It doesn't work, right? So like this idea of semen retention, it does not allow you to have a family, right? So like I can't jump on these trendy ideas and topics because it's disingenuous. It's not true to who I am. Like when I tell you guys I take cold showers, I do intermittent fasting, drink my coffee black, I eat kiwi fruits, and I wear the same gray shirt every day. These are things I do every single day. And these are things that I'm 100% honest and transparent about. And I talk about the benefits because I know through my own personal experience, through trial and error. Like when you watch my videos and any of these ideas that I talk about, you know that I have put a certain amount of time and effort and the hours into these habits because I do them, right? I'm not going to talk about something just because it's trendy and popular if I don't do it. And maybe that's a mistake, right? Maybe I could give my opinion on minimalism, or maybe I could give my opinion on NoFap, right? And maybe that will drive the viewership more and then grow the channel. But again, it's like if I don't practice those things, it's very hard for me to talk about them because I feel like I don't have that level of expertise or knowledge, right? Like if you want to ask me questions about the benefits and the struggles of meditation, how to start meditation, like bam, I got all kinds of information I can tell you, all from personal experience because of actually doing the habit, of doing the ritual, right? Whereas if you ask me about the benefits of NoFap, it's gonna be tough. Like I've tried NoFap normal mode. I know there's some benefits when it comes to, I believe they call it SR and semen retention and your masculinity and your confidence, but then I don't know what to talk about because it's not something that I've researched enough about, right? So it's tough, right? It's very difficult. NoFap is weird to me. Imagine telling someone there was a niche on YouTube where straight guys would bond on how much they haven't came and how long they can go for. Dude, it's so funny. See, it's like 100% agree. Like it's like sort of weird, right? But the problem is there's lots of like scientific evidence, that back up the benefits of NoFap. But again, it's like you gotta have, you gotta be in that world, right? And it's a funny world because it's huge. I know there's like a bunch of YouTubers that have blown up. Like one of my channels that I follow on a consistent basis, that guy Captain Sinbad. I believe his channel started off with NoFap. And then there's that guy Ice Cold JT. He always talks about NoFap, right? So it's like it's definitely a community that has a lot of support and a lot of viewership. A lot of people like to talk about their streaks and how long they can go with semen retention and how every day they feel better, they feel stronger, and they feel more confident, or I don't know, or they feel that their relationship with girls has improved, right? So it's tough because it's a little weird for me too, because maybe I would have gotten into the NoFap niche more if I was in my 20s, right? Like maybe if I was someone that was still looking for a girlfriend or having trouble with girls, then maybe I'd be more into that world, right? But I'm married. I have a wife. I have a daughter. I have a son who's on the way, right? So like my perspective or my timeline of where I am in life, it doesn't really align with the NoFap movement, right? So it's just like kind of doesn't really work for me. But it is a very interesting niche because the NoFap community is like, they're super into it. Like they're really into it. I've seen guys who write down like their streak of how long they go. Like, oh, I'm on day 487. Like, oh my gosh. Like that's so crazy, right? So it's interesting. So if you ever see me make a video in the future where I'm just like talking about NoFap and I'm talking about minimalism, that is when you know that I've sold out. That's when you know. So funny. I find it a little dishonest, but that's because I've never had an issue with porn. Yeah, see, that's another part I forget. Porn addiction. That's probably tough for younger men, I guess you would say. Younger guys. Because of the access to the internet, right? Cell phones and internet and porn is just like so accessible. So I feel like I'm just like you. I've never had an issue with it. Never had like porn addiction. I don't know. Yes, sometime with some self-development YouTubers, there is this weird homoerotic vibe. Ooh, that's a good word. Homoerotic vibe. Like always talking about fap, muscles, strong men, don't need girls. Dude, I may have some news for you. Yeah, it's I don't know. See, like all those things, that's not me, right? Like I get it. There's benefits about, wanting to be more attractive and more masculine and being more confident, but I don't know. For me, it's just like working on my physical health, working on my mental health, building a good relationship with my friends and people and family around me, and building good habits, routines, and rituals. For me, those are the keys to living a happy, well-balanced, and successful life, right? And so I have like this perspective where, it's not just all about big muscles and girls, right? There's more to life than that. Yeah, it's important when you're 19 or 17 or I don't know, whatever, 21. Like, sure, of course, those are very important things. But there's more to the world than that too, right? So I get it. Totally get it. I heard a stat that like 80% of people never have a problem with porn, and to shame people who just want to enjoy something is weird. Yeah, see, if it's 80%, then that's the vast majority of people. You know what? It's like, I feel like that's applicable to probably many things in life. Like the vast majority of people don't have problems with things, right? Like just because there are people in the world that are alcoholics, that have issues with alcohol addiction, that doesn't mean that all of us have those same problems. Porn addiction, same thing. Video game addiction, right? That doesn't mean all of us have those same problems. Like I'm sure like the vast majority of people, can enjoy a drink and be fine. Can watch some porn and be fine. Can play video games a couple of nights with their friends and be fine, right? I'm sure that's like the vast majority of people. But the problem is that when you hear about that 20% that you're alluding to that have the problems that destroy their lives, like those are the stories you hear about, right? You never hear about the regular dude who drinks beer on the weekend, watches some porn, plays video games, and he's a responsible dad, has a good job. Like you never hear about those stories because they're just boring. They're uninteresting, right? Again, it doesn't get you clicks. It doesn't get you views. It's the people that are like way out there that drives traffic. So it's interesting. It's something that I haven't thought too much about, but I just know that like I'm never gonna make videos on subjects that I don't know anything about, because I would just feel stupid, right? Like I want to, if I make a video about a subject, I want to have at least a decent amount of personal experience or understanding or scientific information that I could use to back up my argument, or just talk about something that I know about, right? I don't know. I don't think I could ever just veer off into a certain niche or realm just because it's trending or popular, right? Oh man, there's like a fly buzzing around here. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's interesting though. I do have big goals for the YouTube channel. Let me show you guys. So I got my journal. Okay, so what I do is, so my journal, right? So here's the front, and in the back, the very back, I have a page. Oh, there's no way you can see that. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. So right there, that says goals for 2022. And so, oh, why is this light so bright? So what I do with goal setting, not only do I write down my goals or my to-do list on a day-to-day basis, I like to have this page in the back of my book that I have my goals for the year. And so even though for the YouTube channel, I sort of try not to get out of my lane just to build the channel, but that doesn't mean I don't have goals for growth. And so the main reason why you want to have goals for like the end of the year or for the year is because it gives you a vision in your mind of where you can be. So for example, I have 7 goals here. So my first goal for 2022 is to have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Now there's no significance in the number 100,000. I guess it does get you that plaque, but I feel like 100,000 subscribers is a good number I can focus on, because if I want to have a channel with 100,000 subscribers, I have to have 100,000 subscribers quality or worth of work, right? I have to get to that point. And so what this does is it helps motivate me to push forward and to keep improving. You are such a 100K YouTuber, you just got to express stronger opinions. Yeah, see, that's probably great advice right there. Take a stronger stance on some of the stuff I believe in, right? So, but yeah, let's just quickly go over this list that I have. So the first is 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. The second is to make 5,000 US per month. Now the main reason for that number, it's a little bit higher than what I need, but I would love to one day just quit my day job. I do have a day job still as a courier, and I would love to just do content creation full time, because then I could be home with my family and stuff too, right? So third goal here, which is relates to the second one, is full time on YouTube. Just full time content creation. That's not just my channel. It'd be like the channel, the live stream, the podcast, the website, right? All the things that I do. The fourth is 2 podcasts per month. Now, this is something that I do. The podcast is tough. I get 1 episode per month because I find it so difficult to find guests. So I want to be able to get it to like the stream, the live stream. The only person I have to rely on is myself. So I can get 2 live streams done every month, no problem. And I would love to get the podcast to 2. Fifth is create a video for Buffer Festival. So Buffer Festival is like this thing called TIFF. It's like a Toronto movie festival for filmmakers, where you get your films shown on the big screen in a movie theater, and you can bring your friends and family. And that's something like a goal that I've had. I would love to one day get one of my short films or videos that I make accepted into a film festival and have it shown on the big screen. It's like a goal that I have for this year. And then the 6th goal is to work out daily. Very simple. Just have a workout, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes, but work out every single day. And there's no excuse, because I have a pull-up bar in my basement down the hall. I can do push-ups on the floor, and I can do body weight squats. Easy. So I have no excuse to not hit a workout every single day. So again, workout daily is my second last goal. And my very last goal is meditate daily. Very simple. 5 minutes. 5 minutes every morning, meditate. There should be no excuse for why you can't sit down, be alone with your thoughts, relax, and take 5 minutes out of your day to just think about nothing and clear your mind. Because every day that I do that, it just sets me up in this position where the rest of my day I just feel relaxed. All my anxieties are gone, all my stress is gone. I just sit alone, just try to think about nothing, relax my mind, right? Just calm down, sort of like achieve this state of peace, and then start my day. And every time I've done that, every time I've started my day with a meditation session, my day has always been better. Whether that's getting stuck in traffic, rush hour traffic, and screaming at people, and yelling at people for cutting me off and driving like idiots. Just a simple meditation session like relaxes your mind, gets rid of the road rage or reduces it. And so, yeah, it's just stuff like that. It's huge. Those are my goals, right, for this year. I have big goals for YouTube. Some monetary goals, some subscriber goals. Right, I would like to hit those because, again, it's part of my dream that I have of building a studio, a house with a studio, and building a family, being a good person, being a good husband, a responsible father, and just being someone that, makes a difference in society, right? I don't want to just deliver packages and get people their items that they bought from Amazon. Maybe some of these experiences and self-improvement that I do on a daily basis can help someone out in the world that could benefit their life. And there's like a ripple effect that you don't really see, where maybe one video you make or one motivational speech you send out in the world, maybe it reaches that one person that just needed a little bit of a boost, that they were down bad and they had like no one in their corner. They had no support. They had no friends. They had no one that could understand them. And maybe your little piece of content could just lift their spirits. And maybe that person could be like the next Elon Musk, right? Or that person could have been the next creator or inventor or motivational speaker or philanthropist or entrepreneur or someone that made a huge difference in the world. And maybe your positive thoughts and ideas could really help them out when they were down bad, right? So I always try to remind myself, it's bigger than just me. I have goals, personal goals for myself, but also I want to help people make a difference in the world, right? Because it makes me feel good, you know. It's not always just about yourself, right? Like, you know, when you help people, when you do something nice for a person, you buy someone a gift that they really loved, you know, it makes you feel good. Or at least, like, for me, it makes me feel good, right? It's one of like the best feelings in the world. And it's so much more rewarding than getting the latest Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra or getting the latest iPhone, right? These like materialistic things that we think that gives us happiness. So, yo, Red. What's up, Red? How you doing, bro? Good to see you. Good to see you. How's life? Oh, Swen is back too. I've returned. What are we talking about now? So we talked a little bit about why my channel sucks, why my channel isn't growing, what I could do better, right? What I could do to improve. These are very important constructive criticism that I love. I love constructive criticism. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm someone that I can take it in stride. I know there's some people, you tell them what to do, they get all defensive and they don't want to hear it, but I value what other people, or when other people have advice for me or what they think I could do better. You know, it's something that I try to be really cognizant of, right? You know, because I want to improve and I want to get better, and maybe someone else's perspective can shine a light on something that I'm doing that I might have missed, right? So we were talking about that. We were talking about NoFap, why I don't make NoFap content, why I don't make much minimalism content. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just the general self-improvement stuff. Doing good, bro. Hope you've been well. This week is trash. I got tomorrow all weekend. Wait, this week trash? Oh, okay. Yeah, I've actually been on vacation for this week. I have the whole week off of work. I don't know if you guys can tell if you go to my channel. This past week I had a bunch of YouTube shorts. You can see by like the thumbnail. There's like water. There's me on a dock, by a boat. So I was at my parents' cottage for a couple days. I really got outside in nature. You know, went on like a canoe out in the lake. Caught some fish with my brother. Just had some time to just relax. You know, get away from the city. You know, really think about my goals and dreams for the future, and just had a chance to, you know, just be outside, you know, which is very nice. It's very nice for me because in Canada, you know, our summers are very limited. You know, we maybe have 3 months of good weather a year, maybe 3 months, like June, July, and August. That's all we got, and the rest of the year it sucks. Like, it legit sucks. So I spent some time out up north in the woods. Really gave me perspective, gave me some time away from my work. And then when I finally came back, I was like re-energized. I felt great about making content again, streaming again, you know, lots of stuff planned. So yeah, all that NoFap stuff is sus. You guys are all in agreement, huh? You guys, all of that is just placebo to me, just my opinion. Huh. So sounds like you guys are all in agreement on the NoFap stuff, huh? That's interesting. Like, because I've looked into the research. Like, don't get me wrong, I've looked into it because I'm always looking for like what are the benefits, like what are like physical benefits, mental benefits, health benefits, like what are the habits that we can try or incorporate or learn that can improve our lives, right? And I've looked into NoFap. So yeah, okay, that's interesting, all this stuff about semen retention, but I'm just like, man, making videos about and talking about not beating off all the time, it's like so, like, I don't want to put a negative stigma on that, but it's just, I don't know, like how much can you really talk about that type of stuff, right? Like how long can you really talk about your streak? where you haven't beat off, or your no fap streak, or well, it's been how many days? I don't know. Like, this is why I feel like you got to pick. You got to pick and choose in the self improvement world. You can't do everything, right? You can't do everything. I don't know. Like, what if I had a live? Like, what if we just talked for 2 hours on this stream, right? About not grabbing your junk. Like, so weird. Like, what are we gonna talk about? Like, technique that we use? Like, what is going on? Uh-oh. I joined in, and first thing I hear is semen retention. Dude, you joined in at the wrong time. So this stream is about not beating off. A type of hook grips that you can use. Oh my god. See, I can't even like stay on topic and keep it serious. Like, if we had a stream about semen retention, I can't help but laugh. It's just, I find it funny. I don't know. I can't do it, man. I can't keep a straight face and talk about not beating off. Right. Oh man. Jeez, it's funny. Stream's going downhill, bro. I need to get some water. Too much laughing. But yeah, what's up, Brian? What's going on, dude? So we were talking about like the various niches and I guess habits in the self-improvement world, and why my channel isn't growing. And they're like, one of the most trendy topics in my niche is like NoFap, right? There's like a big supportive community on Reddit and in Discords, and it was like, you know, if I really wanted to like grow my YouTube channel, I should probably like get in on that topic or trend. But what I was telling everyone in the chat, it's like, I don't know, man. I can't make content centered around NoFap just because I want to grow it. It just feels a little disingenuous. So we were kind of making fun of it. Bro, we're literally biologically wired to reproduce. Can't escape nature. Exactly. Like this is what I said earlier. Like, imagine all those people that are doing, like, NoFap has difficulties like easy mode, normal mode, and hard mode. So like hard mode, for example, is no sex at all. Not just masturbation. It's just no sex. So, and that's like the whole thing of like keeping a streak of semen retention, right? Is not busting a nut. But then what if you're trying to have a family? You're trying to have kids, right? Like, how does that work? Like, imagine I made a video talking about NoFap hard mode, right? And talking about the benefits and how great it is for you and why you should do this and what you, I don't know, or why you should record it. But then I go, oh, hey, yeah, my wife's 8 months pregnant too. So then you know I'm lying, right? You know 100% that I'd be lying, that I'm not practicing NoFap hard mode, right? It's just, it just doesn't make sense, right? So, I don't know, that's just my opinion. Opinion on the subject. See, I can't keep a straight face. I'm so immature, bro. So immature. But yeah, I think staying in my lane with the self-improvement habits that I really practice and, you know, do on a daily basis, it's I don't know, I think that's like the best decision that I could do. So yeah, don't force it if it's something you don't want to talk about. You've been good with sticking to content that you are talking about and staying authentic and real. Yeah, you know, that's what I was thinking too, right? It's like, I don't want to talk about something just because it's trending, right? So I know Fruppy, is that how you say it? Fruppy Fruppy was talking about how I should be more strong with my opinions and don't be so like lackluster and mediocre all the time. Like maybe take a stronger stance would definitely be beneficial. So to each his own. If someone finds it useful, more power to them. Yeah, exactly. Like what Red said right there. Like if it works for you, more power to you. I'm happy for you, right? Whatever works for you. But just doesn't work for me. No fap is more like don't fap with Pornhub or these adult sites. Oh, okay, I see. So it's more like it's more connected to porn. So that's like more of the stuff, the strategy. Hey, Forrest, what's going on? Hi, Blurda, how you doing? Good to see you. How is life in Kosovo? Always love it when you stop by. Forrest is like one of the only people probably that's been here since stream number. No, Brian too. Brian and Forrest been here since like stream number 1 in the beginning when I was struggling. When I was struggling to make it through an hour. Forrest knows those days. We're getting better though. Yo, we're on stream 28, bro. 28. That's crazy to me. Oh, super hot. Ooh, temperature. Let me check temperature. Here in Toronto, it's 31. Let's see, temperature in Kosovo. 31? Wait, what time is it there? Oh, we're different time zones though. Yeah, it's freaking hot outside. I'm gonna take my daughter to the park that has a like those like little water splash pads later. So super excited about that. How about those Warriors, man? I told you, yeah, bro. You called that shit. Yeah, they're just they figured it out. They figured it out. And Tatum was disappointing, dude. Like I thought this was like Tatum's moment to shine, right? But I felt like Jaylen Brown played better. I felt like Jaylen Brown was Boston's best player. And just Curry is just Curry's magic. I'm so happy that Curry got his MVP, his finals MVP. 19.33. What's that? Oh, Celsius temperature. What is 19.33? Is that the price of gas? Yo, you guys see this worldwide inflation that's going on? Oh my gosh, like how can people afford to live? Like we went grocery shopping the other day, me and Tina, and we were in like the produce section, right, where all the real food is, like the real fruit, vegetables, and real food. We went over to the produce section. And an avocado was $3. $3 for one avocado is $3. What big box of cereal? $10. My daughter's milk, $11. I was like, so expensive. Oh, 1933 the time. Oh, okay, 7:30. Oh yeah, 6 hours ahead. Oh, so did you finish dinner or is it dinner time soon? But yeah, I don't know how you guys feel about all this like inflation stuff, but dude, it's like everything is like imagine all the people that were just barely getting by paycheck to paycheck. Like they could afford their rent, they could maybe pay their cell phone bill, buy food, and then they're pretty much strapped for cash. Like what are those people doing now? Like, that's what's so crazy. Gas on average is $6 in Cali. Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, here it's $2.10 per liter. But a gallon to liter is like 4, right? Is it 4 liters a gallon? hold on, liter to gallon. Wait, how do you get 1 gallon? Oh, 3.78 liters is 1 gallon. So if, hold on, I'm struggling to do math here. So if you have $6 for a gallon, what would that price be here? So that would be like $2.25 a liter, roughly. Yeah, man, it's expensive, dude. Like to fill up my car, like I have like a Subaru Forester SUV, like a family SUV, 4-door, right? $110 to fill up a full tank. It's insane. 1 kg of spinach is €5. Oh, bro, €5? €5. Euros to Canadian, that's like $7, isn't it? Hold on, €5. $6, yeah, it's like $7 Canadian almost. Oh my gosh. Now it's tea time. Tea time. $11 milk in my country. Yeah, it's like for my daughter's like, I guess you call it homo milk, or like the more fatty milk that's organic for kids. It's like $11 for like 3 of those little packets. It's crazy. But you have to remember, this is like Canadian dollars. So when I say like $10 Canadian, that's probably like $8 US. So it's a little different once you get to all the currency conversion. See, all you guys got euros and USD. Like, you got strong currency. The Canadian dollar is weak as hell. The Canadian dollar sucks. Like, how many Canadians to US? Let's find out. So 130 Canadian dollars gets you 100 US. It's like almost 30% extra. Yeah, the inflation is crazy. There's a bottled water brand in France named Crystalline, and they never raise their prices since years and years. And last week they did. Oh man, yeah. See, it's like even those companies that have, stayed consistent with their pricing, even they have to increase prices. Every single thing you can think of got more expensive here. Yeah, so it's like everywhere, right? See, but did you guys get like a cost of living raise, like from your jobs? Like did your companies give you guys a raise because of inflation? Because like at my work, they started charging like shipping costs, right? To say like one box, it costs like $10 to ship somewhere. Now that same box costs like our customers $15, right? So our company has increased the prices of their services across the board, because of inflation. So then we're like, okay, so as employees, are we going to get a raise? Like a cost of living raise? Nope, we didn't get anything. So it's like, so how do you expect people's wages stays the same, right? But then companies are increasing their pricing so they can keep making their profits because of expenses have gone up. But the expenses for the company to pay employees, it gets to stay the same. So then people make less money, right? Pay the same taxes, but the cost of everything that you need to live keeps going up and up and up, right? And then in Canada, their not excuse, the solution is to increase interest rates. And by increasing interest rates, you combat inflation, but it's like, it's not working, man. Like prices just keep going up and up. And I know that like the government, it's like, oh, because of Russia, right? Because of Putin and Ukraine, so like the gas prices. So like, okay, like sure, like we all get that. But like how much does that affect the world? Like, do we all get our gas from Russia? Like, I thought oil comes mostly from the Middle East, like the United Arab Emirates or Dubai. Like, aren't those places that are rich in oil? Like, isn't that where the majority of oil comes from? Like, again, I'm not educated on any of these subjects whatsoever, but I feel like you can't just always blame Russia, can you? Like, if everyone got all their oil from Russia, okay, but isn't there other places we get oil from too? So that's why I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't even know what to think anymore. No for Forrest. Batiste. Oh, yes for Batiste. So your company got inflation pay raise. Okay, that's good. So at least you got that. Yeah, we got nothing, bro. We got nothing. I think last year I got like 80 cents. I think my raise was like 80 cents for the year. Not even $1. 80 cents, dude. It's like, say you get an 80-cent raise. How much money does that get you a year? It's like hardly anything, right? So it's tough, dude. Like what are you guys doing? Like cutting back your spending, eating less food, canceling your subscription memberships. Like what? Like we have something has to give, right? Like either we have to cut our spending back, or we have to work more or get like a second job in order to combat inflation, right? So. Yeah, I'm trying to get out of my current job and working 3 years, no raise. Dang, 3 years, no raise. But since prices are going up, I gotta stick with it for now. Yeah, see, exactly. Like, it's tough, right? Because Red, you need the job because you need to have that cash flow coming in, right? Because everything is so expensive. So it's hard to leave it until you can find something for sure that pays better or it's a better situation for you. Yeah, we have nothing like that in Canada. Country is going backwards. Yeah. It's unfortunate. Canada is actually not a good place to be in right now. Like it makes me kind of sad, right? Because it's like I'm not someone who always bashes the country I live in. Like, don't get me wrong, this is not the type of person I am. I'm not one of those people that always blame the government this and blame that. But recently, like the way Canada has reacted with some of their laws and some of their bills in regards to government spending, and more importantly, restriction on our internet and what we're going to be shown and viewed. Like we're yikes, we're not in a good place right now. It's definitely kind of rough. Thank God I am well paid, but I know that for some people these are hard times. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, what if you're like that single mother who's, working a job at night and taking care of your kids all day, and you're not getting a raise, but baby formula is super expensive. It's hard to even get, right? It's hard to even get your hands on baby formula. Baby clothes are expensive. Right, all your cost of living goes up. Like, but what do those people do? Right, what are those people that are like barely getting by? Right, like for me, I'm okay financially because like I don't make a lot of money. Like, I'll tell you straight up, I don't care. I make like 23. What do I make? $24 an hour. I'll tell you straight up, I make $24 an hour. Right, so. The only reason that we're okay financially is because I put so much time and emphasis into like saving and learning about money. Because it's not just about saving money, it's about trying to save money and use it to invest and have it grow so it outpaces inflation, right? Because if you have $100 today and you put it under your mattress, like 10 years from now, it's not going to be worth $100 anymore. You need to make your money grow, right? So fortunately for me, I've spent a lot of time on personal finance, reading personal finance books, learning about investing, learning how to be responsible with my money, right? Am I rich? No, of course not, right? When I go to the grocery store, we have to price match. We buy foods that are on sale, right? Just like any other family, right? I'm just like anyone else, right? But even though I don't make a lot of money, what I do have, I've been able to save it, invest it, and grow it to a point where I'm okay. You know, I can afford my bills. I can afford food for my daughter and my family. I can pay our taxes, you know, and I'm okay, right? Can I afford tickets to the basketball game? No, I can't, right? I don't have any money to do that, right? I don't have money to go to the amusement park, to go on roller coasters, right? Do I have money to buy a new camera lens? No, those days are gone, right? So luckily, I've been somewhat interested in personal finance to a point where I'm okay, right? I'm okay. But I think about those people that, you know, there's lots of people that don't care about money, right? They don't really care. They don't really think about how much they make, right? They get their paycheck, they spend it all, and there's nothing left, and they just live paycheck to paycheck. Like, what do those people do, right? Like, it's tough because now they have to either get a second job, right, to make more money, or they have to learn how to cut back and really manage their expenses now. And they can really learn about money. And maybe this is why so many people cancel Netflix and Disney Plus and these monthly subscriptions that you pay for, because we don't have a choice, right? If your choice is a Netflix subscription or being able to buy food, you buy food, right? If you're a reasonable human being, you don't go into debt just so you can keep the Netflix subscription. Or do you do that? I don't know. Like, I don't know what's the answer. So it's hard, man, because we all have the same problem, but there's no one solution that works for everybody. You know, that's the thing, because this affects all of us, every single person around the world. We're all affected by this global inflation that's going on, right? And depending on where you live, you know, what type of government you have, or what type of regulations there are in your country, or even what type of job opportunities are in your community where you live, plays a huge factor and role in what you can do to get in a position where you'll be financially stable. So I think about it a lot. You know, I really think about it, and it's tough, right? It's like, even right now, I don't know if you can hear it, but there's like some banging going on above. So right now, my roof is being redone, because this house that I bought, it was built in 2007. So 15 years ago, and here, you know, the shingles on a roof last like 15 to 20 years, right? So it's time to get a new roof. It's $4,000, $5,000 right there, bam, gone, right, for a roof this afternoon, right? So that's all that money gone, right? You know how hard it is for me to save up $4,000, you know, when I make $24 an hour. How hard that is, right? It's not easy, man. It's like, and even though, like, I have YouTube, right? YouTube, I am in the partner program. I have monetization. I don't play ads on the stream, so you guys know. I always turn monetization off for the stream. I never want you guys to watch an ad just to come for the stream. I hate that. So the stream, I never want to make any ad money off the stream. I always turn it off. But I have it on for my other videos. And let's see. It makes, yesterday, made it $1.16. Day before, $1.48. Day before that, $1.66. You know, so my YouTube channel makes like what, $1.50 every day. So that's like $45 in a month. You know, so I could buy a pizza, buy some salad. I don't know. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not easy, right? It's tough. It's tough too, because it's like, it's something that I put a lot of time and energy and effort into, right? So like, I'm grateful that I have something that's like a sort of like a small passive income that it helps a little bit. Like, every dollar helps, right? But like, what about, you know, those people in the world that don't have a side hustle, or don't have any other skills or time where they can get a second job? You know, we gotta do something to help those people, right? So I don't know. The world's an interesting place. Like so much has changed. Like even when you think about my YouTube channel, when I started in 2019, like it was so different, right? 2019 compared to now. Wow. Wild. It's wild how 3 years, how much the world can shift. So I don't know. So we'll see. Hopefully maybe one day, channel could blow up. Who knows? Maybe that would help. But for now, I'm pretty content with working the day job for as long as I have to while I work on the dream. So we'll see. How old are you when you got your first pay, and how much was it? You mean like my very first job, like when I was a teenager, or do you mean like YouTube? What was my very first job? How old was I? So in grade 9, you are 14? Grade 10, you're 15. When did I start working? Okay, so I'm going to assume your question means my very first paycheck. Okay, very first job. So my very, very first job, I think I was 15, and I was like a basketball referee, and it was just paid cash under the table. So it wasn't like a real, you didn't pay any income tax. It was just like 10-year-old boys house league basketball, and I was a referee, and I got paid $10 a game, and I'd ref like 3 games on the weekend for like $30 cash. But then my very, very first real job was I worked at Rona Home and Garden. If you guys don't know what Rona is, it's basically, I think it's a Canadian version of Home Depot. So like what do you call that? Like a hardware store. So I worked in the section where it's like I built barbecues and lawnmowers and snowblowers. Like I assembled them and sold them or whatever. And when I started, it was $8 Canadian per hour. And that was, I think I was like 16 or 17. I think maybe 16. So that was 2000 or 2001. Yeah, so I think it was 2001. So 2001, I'm 17 years old. Or maybe 16. I'm like 16 or 17 years old. I'm in like grade 10 in high school, and it was paying $8 an hour. And then I started off, it was crazy, bro. It was, you know how crazy it was? In high school, we had 5 periods, and my lunch was at the very end. So I would go to school, I'd have 4 classes straight, and then I would have my lunch. So instead of finishing school at 3 p.m. like everyone else, I technically finished school at like 1:30 in the afternoon because that was like my lunch period. So I always finished school early. So what I did was, that Rona that I worked at, it was down the street from my high school. So I would finish school at 1:30, then I would walk to Rona, and then I'd work from 2 p.m. to 10:30. So I go to school all day and then work at Rona for 8 hours. You're 38 now. I am, how old am I? 37? Yeah, I'm 37. So I'll be 38 this November. Yeah, so I'm 37 right now. Born 1984. Yeah, so it was like $8 an hour back then. Canadian. It was funny too though. They actually messed up my pay, and all of a sudden I became like a full-time sales associate or something, and all of a sudden my pay jumped to $11 an hour. And they made like a mistake. And then I started working like crazy. I was like, oh my God, $11 an hour. That's so much money. And I started like signing up for extra shifts. And I was trying to work like 30 to 40 hours every week. And I was just like killing it. And then eventually the store manager, I guess the accounting people finally realized they made a mistake and they've been overpaying me. And so they brought me into the office and like, oh, you owe us this much money because of like overpayment, right? And then eventually they put my wage back down to 8. And then they were like deducting the money that they overpaid me on my paycheck. And they started like treating me like shit because I guess they were mad that I never told them. So they became like resentful to me, and I started getting all these like terrible jobs. Like before I was just like building lawnmowers and stuff. It was cool. It was fun, build barbecues. And then now it's just like, they're just like killing me. So eventually I said, all right, fine, screw you guys. And I quit. So that was that. Didn't you feel anything about friends' judgment when working after high school? I kind of feel some coming from my friends. Sort of. Like the thing is, my group of friends, we always hung out on the weekend. Like Saturday, Sunday, we'd always like generally go and do stuff. And so a lot of my friends in high school are very smart. They're very responsible academically. So after school, they would study a lot, right? And so I was the one that was a bit more erratic. I had decent grades, but I never took school seriously. I never seriously like studied a lot, right? I would always work instead. And so while my friends during the week, they go to school, they would study, get good grades. I'd go to school, then I would work to make money. And then on the weekends, we would do stuff, right? So I had a great, like I'm very, very fortunate because I've had a group of friends that I've known since like grade 1. Some of these guys I've known since grade 1, even like Brian, who's in the stream right now. He has the moderator branch. So I've known Brian like my whole life. Right? He's someone that I've known since elementary school, like when we were tiny little kids. And we've had this like core group of friends that we still hang out with to this day, even though I hardly see them as much anymore because everyone's kind of grown up. But I've been very fortunate to have a good group of guys, a good group of friends around me. So I never felt any judgment from them, right? They never judge me for working, and then I never judge them for studying. Right, so it was like a great. We've had a great relationship, like my whole life, basically. But yeah, as long as you have like time on the weekend to hang out with your boys, there you go. We'd play like NBA, 2K2 on. Is it Sega Dreamcast? I think it was Sega Dreamcast what we would play on. Yeah, man, it was great. It was like a great. I always remind myself this, like showing gratitude for things you're grateful for. Like I'm so grateful for the friends I made in elementary school, the friends I made in high school, because like I never had issues with like being bullied, right? I never had trouble making friends, right? I was never bullied by people. Like I was always just normal, I guess, right? And so I know a lot of people in this world, they don't grow up with that, supportive of group of people, right? And it's something again that I'm grateful for. So it's it's nice. It's nice when you have that. Oh, I'm 18 now, and what would change if you're 18 again with the knowledge you have now? Some suggestions. Oh, that is easy. So when you're 18, what is that, grade 12? So you're finishing high school, I think. So one of the biggest regrets when I was 18 is everyone said you have to go to college or go to university and get some type of degree and get a job because that is what the previous generation did. Now you have to be very aware that what worked for the previous generation does not mean it will work for your current generation, right? And so maybe if we're talking about like the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, they're a lot more similar, right? Like the difference was minor, right? So it made sense to follow what the previous generation did. But now, in 2000 to 2010 to 2020, the gap between those years, between those decades is huge. It's huge. The jobs of yesterday are not guaranteed to be there in tomorrow, right? Because of technology, because of the internet, and because of how fast things evolve in society. And when I was 18, I wished that I would have learned about entrepreneurship, would have learned about trades, right? Like being someone like an electrician, or like a carpenter, a plumber, or like one of those like real world trades. Because jobs like economics, right? Or those type of fields, business administration, like who knows what those are going to get you, right? There's no guarantee for any of those jobs. The only guarantees are like the trade skills, right? Because you're always going to need electricians, right? And you're always going to need arborists. Arborists are like those guys that cut down trees, right? So those trade skills are always in demand because no one wants to do them, right? Everyone wants to do what's easy, go with the flow, get a I don't know, office job, right? Get some corporate job. But when you're 18, if you don't know exactly what you want to do, don't fall into the trap of being forced to do what everyone else does, right? Like say, for example, let's say you absolutely love, I don't know, physics. Let's say you love physics, or maybe you love fashion. I don't know, whatever. And you really want to go to college or university because you love that field of work or you love that subject. Perfect, then go for it. But if you're like me where, I don't know, what should I do? Should I do this? Should I do that? Like if you don't know what to do, don't be forced to do what everyone else does, right? There's so much more out there for people, especially now in 2022. Like you can build a career on the internet. You can go to school and build a career. You can start trades, right? You can do so many things. Like you could play video games for a living. You could be a live streamer. There's like so many different jobs that the previous generation never had, and be open for what 2030 has in store. Because if you think long term, like think about 2030, right? 2030 is 8 years from now, so you'll be 26. So try to think like how different the world is going to be. And if you're someone that has developed skills to be able to adapt, to try new things, and to diversify your skill set, then learning a new field or a brand new field in like 8 months, 6 to 8 months, and getting up to speed on a brand new field is so much more important than learning a degree in 4 years for something that we did long ago. It's so much more beneficial if you are someone that can learn quickly and adapt and learn new things in a short period of time. It's so much more helpful for you. And I remember I read this idea from Naval Ravikant, super famous millionaire investor. And he just talked about like, don't get stuck in the old ways, right? And don't get stuck in doing things how everyone else did it before you. Like look ahead, don't look back. Right, but it's tough because when you're 18, everyone's gonna try to tell you what to do. Like your parents, your parents will always love you. Your parents will always care for you. They always want to give you good advice. But your parents will always come from a generation of they only know what worked for them. And I'm guilty of this too. I only know what worked for my generation, right? So I can only best guide my kids from what I know. But you have to remember that like generations are very different, especially now. And if you can find a way to either find something you love to do, and if you can't find that, become really good at adaptation and diversifying and learning new skills on the fly, because that's when like you can become super successful. So very awkward suggestion, I guess you would say, because most people would always just say, just go to school, get education, you'll be fine. I feel like that's an easy answer. Where for young people, you gotta really teach them about like, being open to different things, different careers and jobs that haven't been created yet. So some habits you suggest to develop. You said you're a computer science dropout. What would you suggest for someone aspiring in the IT field, some experience? Okay, so let's say you want to get into IT, right? That's like, if that's something that you want to do, Like if you have like a passion for, then I say go for it, right? Because IT, like IT is linked to technology, right? So there's going to be lots of jobs, hopefully in the future related to the IT field. Because again, we don't know how far automation is going to go. But the thing is, I'd also be very careful to not identify yourself as only doing IT. Now, let's say you go to school, you get your degree. Again, this idea of diversifying is something I think that's important. If you go into the IT field, maybe you get a job there. Always keep your options open. Always keep your eyes open for new things and new avenues and new passions for life. And the main reason for that is, when I was 18, I had no idea what I wanted to do when I was 37, or what I would want to do when I was 37. Like right now, I love cameras. I love creative work. I love motivational speaking. I love public speaking. I love writing, right? These are all these creative things that I love. This is what I love, my passion in life. When I was 18, I hated writing. I was scared of public speaking, right? I don't want to speak in front of people or a group. I hated everything creative. I didn't like cameras at all. I hated cameras. I didn't like photography. And I loved video games. I love mathematics. I love statistics. I love computers, right? So see how much change that's happened in my life from 18 to 37. You can end up a completely different person than when you are in 18. And if you realize this and just open yourself up to the ability of diversification and adapt and be willing to change, because it might happen. Because what you want to do at 18 might not be what you want to do long term when you get into your 20s or 30s. So I think the key here is just learning the skill of becoming a perpetual learner. And I know that people say like, oh, I'm done with education. I'm done school. I'm done university. Now I can just work and make money. But education doesn't have to end after school. You can become a perpetual learner, right? And keep learning things later in life. And maybe you'll be like me. You'll discover something. Maybe your passion might be art or music, or it might be gardening. Who knows, right? You don't know what you're going to like in the future. So be a perpetual learner. It's probably the best advice I can give. Oh man, we killed it today, bro. It's already 2 o'clock. Do you guys have any more questions? If not, I'm gonna wrap up this stream. That was super fun, dude. I had so much fun. Those 2 hours flew by. 2 hours and 8 minutes. I can't even believe it. But yeah, if any of you guys are still here, hit the like button. Hopefully this helps YouTube let them know that this stream is good. This channel is good. And let's see. Let's set the next date. So hopefully we'll get into July. July 9th, Saturday, will be the next live stream. So yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. So AJ, Brian, Batiste, everyone, Red, live next. So let's go July 9th. Let's do that. July 9th, 12 Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, guys, comment in the comment section, or hit the like button. I'm sure that helps me some way. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate all you guys coming by to chat. I love this. This is like coming from my heart. This is something that I love to do. I love talking with you guys. And not only, is this beneficial to you, but this helps me out, so much. Just getting my ideas out. And you guys giving me feedback and giving me ideas too. It just helps me think about things. And I gain so much from these live streams. It just makes me so happy. It makes me like, so happy that we have this like community that we're building. And I love it. I can't wait till the next stream, and then we can all catch up on what's going on in the world, and hopefully the price of gas won't be as crazy. So bless. Yeah, Red, awesome. Batiste, Forrest, all you guys, love it. All right, guys, have a good Saturday. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Peace.